Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alya Najwa Binti Zain. My matric number is CI210004 and my section is section 5. Today I would like to present laboratory practical 5, which is to understanding SOAP and WSDL file. The objective for this lab is to comprehend the relationship between SOAP and WSDL functions. So the first one is to explain my understanding of web services. So what is web services? Or in another name is the WSDL. A WSDL, Web Services Description Language file, is used to describe web services. It provides a standardized way to define the functionalities and capabilities of a web service. The purpose of having description in the form of a WSDL file is to enable interoperability between different system and programming languages. It allows developer to understand how to interact with the web service without having to know the implementation detail. So there are several things that need to be understood in the WSDL file. So the first one is the service definition. The WSDL file describes the service itself, including its name, operations such as methods or function, input and output message, the protocol such as HTTP and so is used to access the service. The second one is the message format. Define the structure of messages exchanged between the client and the web service. Include the data type of the parameter and return value, as well as the message headers. So the third one is operation. It specifies the operation that web service supports, outline the input parameter required for each operation, and the expected output or response. Next, the binding and protocol. WSDL allow the specification of different bindings, which define the protocols and message formats used to communicate with the web service. It includes details such as the endpoint URL, the transport protocol, HTTP, and the message format. So regarding relationship between WSDL and SOAP, SOAP, which is stand for Simple Object Access Protocol, is one of the protocol that can be used in conjunction with WSDL. WSDL define the structure and operation of a web service, while SOAP define the message format and protocol for exchanging XML-based messages between the client and the services. So next, I would like to generate the WSDL file, SOAP response, and request. So in this part, I will use the calculation part. So there are four operation. We can see over here we have operation name and the parameters. So firstly, I would like to test. Okay, so we can add numbers. Can click add. Okay, so there are appeared the SOAP request and the SOAP response over here. Also the answers for the operation we just do just now. Okay, for the WSDL file, this is the WSDL file. So what is in the WSDL file? So we have the SOAP envelope, which is right over here in the SOAP definitions. Okay, this part, which is the root element in the SOAP message that encapsulates the entire message. And then we have the SOAP header, contain optional hidden information in SOAP message. And then we also have the SOAP fault. We also have the operation over here, You can see the operation for subtract, the multiply, division, the add, okay, which is the operation is under the SOAP action. It specifies the action or operation that should be performed based on the SOAP message. And then it's important to note that the mapping provided above represent a high level correspondence between SOAP and WSDL element. It vary depending on the specific implementation and requirement of the web service. WSDL file can define element beyond sub-specific elements as they can describe web services that use other protocol like RESTful services with JSON payloads. So back to the question. A WSDL file always be related with SOAP file because WSDL tells us what element we should have inside a SOAP. Take your SOAP files and match SOAP element to WSDL elements. So I think for this part, I just mentioned just now what we should have inside a SOAP. As we see over here, the request and the response, we also has the envelope, we have the header, we have the operation, same as the XML WSDL file part. So I think just that's it from me. Thank you